Hi, Cat's Cradle here. The object of this video is to shed a little light on an area of preparedness that I've given a great deal of thought to lately, well, over the past year in fact, and that is the subject of light in a worst case scenario if we were to lose power for an extended period of time, for months and even years. I, like you, have a solar battery recharger and lots of rechargeable batteries. But at best, those batteries will take a full charge about 30 times. And then what are you going to do? What are you going to do when that runs out? I recommend that you have candles and that you have plenty of them. But here's my dilemma. I have a child in this house that's 10 years old. And I've got to be honest, I would be a little nervous handing her this, and this is a very old-timey candlestick. I'd be very nervous handing her this and saying, okay, good night, go to bed, go to your room, here's your light, and sending her down the hall to her room with that candlestick and that open flame. In fact, I wouldn't do it. So I have stored lots of candle holders that look like this. This is glass well above the candle line, and you can put anything in the bottom to make them stable. This one we took a trip to the Gulf Coast to my homeland, and I collected shells to bring them home so that I could look at them, and I just shoved the candle down there. It doesn't have to be that elegant. You can take a regular mason jar, and this one I just filled with pinto beans. Split peas work great. Any kind of dry beans work. Rice works. You can use sand, in fact. And then you can take any old candle you have, and it doesn't matter how big it is, and I mean you don't want it above the glass line, and just shove it down there and then light it, and then the flame is below the rim of the jar. I'd feel much more confident handing that to my daughter and saying, you know, go put this on the bookcase in your room and get ready for bed, and she could walk down the hall with that. The other thing, if all you have is a little bitty candle, you can just use a pair of tongs and just poke your candle into whatever you have sitting on the bottom. But that works really, really well. But I like things like that, and I don't have any candles like this I use around my home. They just make me nervous. And so all of my candles are completely contained in glass, like one of these two scenarios, and I have lots of containers like this pretty one here, different shapes and sizes, to hold my candles. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is it is garage sale season. It's beautiful spring weather. It's about to be summer. That's when I garage sale. I teach school during the year, so I can't get to those garage sales early enough in the morning any other time. And I've got to tell you, it dawned on me one time. We went to several garage sales in one day, and everybody had one of these big 3-wick candles for sale. I mean, and this thing is huge. I mean, it weighs several pounds. It's really big. And I told my daughter, I said, what is the deal with these candles? They're everywhere. And then it dawned on me that I should be buying them. This candle right here, if I were to go to like a Pier 1 or even, you know, any of the nicer stores and buy a 3-wick candle like this, I'd pay $25 for it. You could probably pick them up at Walmart for $15 or so. But this candle I paid 50 cents for at a garage sale. This one I paid $1 for. I was willing to do that because it was vanilla. I like that scent very much. I paid $1. It's kind of beat up, and you can see the wicks completely burnt down, these little ones, so somebody got the bright idea that they're just going to stick something in there and make a wick out of it. I'm guessing it didn't work. And I don't care how this candle looks, because I'm going to chop it up and remake my own candle anyway. And that's the same with, well, probably not this one. This one's in really good shape. Now, this is a big pillar candle. It's my very favorite kind to buy because this one's unscented, and that's my very favorite. That's a lot of wax. And I paid, I asked the guy, I said, how much you want for the candle? He said, how about 5 cents? I'm like, you got it. Gave him 5 cents. Here's another one, unscented, a little pillar. Still got the price tag on it. I paid, well, this camera didn't, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. 15 cents for it, okay? Here's another big 3-wick one. Bought at another garage sale, 50 cents, okay? Here's one. Now, I don't usually do this. I just hardly ever buy anything that's floral scented. This one's called peony and grapefruit because I don't enjoy the floral scents. But this one had a really nice scent to it. And so I paid $1 for it. Now, why was I willing to pay $1? Because I got this great heat-resistant container with it, so I know when I use up that candle, I can use this container to pour more in. Plus, it was kind of a pleasant shape. I like that. This is my favorite scent. I think if you're going to have to burn candles a lot in the house for light, that you're going to want unscented, because I will tell you, if you've got a bunch of different scented candles going on all over the house, I mean, unless you're just very unusual, it's likely to give you a headache because we're just not used to having that kind of scent all the time. And I don't find it pleasurable at all. In fact, I go in people's houses sometime where they're burning a couple of candles, and it gives me a headache very quickly. I tend to look for those that are spicier as opposed to floral. I think they're more pleasing, the ones that smell like vanilla or cinnamon or apple pie. These candles are so old they've lost their scent, and that's what I love. The other thing I do is if they still kind of smell strongly, I will go ahead and hack them up with a little, I don't know, it looks like a little axe, a hatchet, I couldn't think of what it's called. Hack them up with a little hatchet so the pieces are laying open, and the scent will dissipate fairly quickly. So I just leave them outside on the freezer in my garage. And then when I'm ready to make candles, all I do is put them in my pot and melt them down and re-pour. And that's another whole video, actually one I don't think I'm going to make, because there's tons of video out there to show you how to make your own candles. What I'm saying to you is if you went to the grocery store and you bought a little block of wax, in fact it comes in a box and it says Gulf Wax. It's on the canning aisle because women used to melt wax and put on the top of their jellies, so that's where you'll find it. That little tiny block of wax that's the same size as a pound of butter sells for between $3 and $4. It is not cheap. So when you can find this much wax for 50 cents, what a deal. So pick them up and then go watch a video on how to make your own candles and save yourself a ton of money and have all of this light stored away. Don't forget to store matches because you'll need them. The other thing is I save all my old candle containers. I just wash them out. Not wash them out. What I do is I put them on a cookie sheet and put them in the oven on a very low temperature, and whatever residual wax is left in this jar, I will pour it into my wax pot and then just wipe out this with a paper towel. If you're going to re-pour a candle pretty quickly, you don't even need to wipe it out because it will come pretty clean just melting it out. So here's what I do. I save all my old wax. Here's a bag. I should have opened it before I started this. Hold on just one moment. I'll go ahead and open it and show you what I'm talking about. Here's a bag of waste, what I call waste wax. You know, candles that just quit burning. You burn the wick, well, like this one. You just burn the wick all the way down, and it just wouldn't burn anymore. Yeah, here's one. Little scraps and pieces. Here's just something that came out of the very bottom of the candle. You can see where somebody dropped a match head in when they were lighting it. You don't have to worry about that. When I melt this wax down, it will be beautiful. All the little black pieces, the match heads, anything, little pieces of wick that were in there will go straight to the bottom of the pan, and the beautiful clear wax will be at the top, and I'll just begin pouring my candles. And so this wax is all usable. Anytime I scrape out a container like this, or if I were to pull this out of this candlestick and there's wax at the bottom, I scrape it out and save it all because I know I've got several more candles worth of wax here that I can re-pour. I hope this has helped you. I hope it causes you to think about how you can purchase wax cheaply. The wicks to re-pour your own candles are available at craft stores like Joann and Michael's, and you would just put your wick in here in your jar. They have wick tack that will allow you to stick that down. You pour your candle, let it sit. uh, the the wax will shrink away from the wick just a little bit after it's cooled, and you just pour a little bit more on top, and you're good to go. You've got your own candles. I've done hundreds of them. It's not only is it a fun thing to do, but if you buy your wax this way, it's a very economical thing to do. Look for these at garage sales. When you're out garage selling in the spring and you're looking for those great deals, pick up these pillar candles. People get rid of them all the time. I found these three pillars, these three big pillars, all in one day. And those three total cost me $1.50. What a deal. I hope you'll give it a try. I hope you'll look out for safe containers. Not this one. Not that one. I hope you look for safe containers that you can hand to your family to send down the hall to a bedroom or a bathroom in a lights out situation. Containers that would be safe for them to carry a candle, especially if you have little ones. I hope this helps somebody. I hope it causes the wheels to turn in your head of the ways that you can find light for your family other than the traditional battery-held flashlight or lantern. Talk to you later. Bye.